Are you ready to face the spine-chilling horrors that lurk within the walls of your school? Get ready for a hair-raising journey as we delve into the dark and twisted tales of true school horror. From unexplained hauntings to eerie encounters, these bone-chilling stories will leave you questioning the safety of your own classrooms. So buckle up, because we're about to unlock the secrets of the most haunted schools around the world. Brace yourself for true school horror spine-chilling tales that will send shivers down your spine and keep you on the edge of your seat. Are you brave enough to join us? Number 1. I remember it vividly, like a nightmare etched into my memory. It was just an ordinary day at school, with students bustling through the hallways, the air buzzing with excitement and youthful energy. Little did we know that darkness was about to descend upon us. As the final bell rang, signaling the end of the day, I joined my friends as we made our way to the school's basement. It was a place that had always held an eerie reputation, with rumors of strange happenings and whispers of a haunting presence. Curiosity got the best of us, and we were determined to uncover the truth. As we descended the creaking staircase, a chill crept up my spine, forewarning of the horrors that awaited us. The air grew heavy and suffocating, and an unsettling silence settled in, broken only by our nervous whispers. As we explored the dimly lit corridors, shadows danced along the walls, distorting into twisted shapes. Every step felt like trespassing into forbidden territory, as if we were intruders in a realm unseen by the daylight. Suddenly, we heard it, a faint whisper, barely audible yet unmistakably chilling. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end, and a knot tightened in my stomach. We exchanged terrified glances, realizing that we were not alone. Footsteps echoed in the distance, growing louder and more menacing with each passing second. Panic surged through our veins as we desperately searched for an escape, but the hallways seemed to stretch infinitely, trapping us within their labyrinthine grasp. In the dim glow of flickering lights, we caught glimpses of a figure, shrouded in darkness, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly intensity. Fear gripped us tightly, rendering us motionless as the entity drew closer. As the figure materialized before us, its presence was suffocating, filling the air with an oppressive energy. It emanated an aura of malevolence, as if it fed off our terror. We were powerless, mere witnesses to a haunting beyond our comprehension. Terrified cries echoed through the empty corridors, echoing into the abyss. Desperate to escape, we raced toward the nearest exit, stumbling and tripping over our own fear. It felt as if the walls were closing in, threatening to swallow us whole. Finally, we burst through the doors, gasping for air as the sunlight embraced our trembling bodies. We were free, but the scars of that harrowing encounter remained etched in our minds forever. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that the school held secrets, hidden in the depths of its corridors. The haunting had shown us that even in the seemingly safest of places, darkness can lurk, waiting to ensnare unsuspecting souls. Number 2. I remember that day like it was yesterday, a day that would forever haunt my dreams and leave an indelible mark on my soul. It started just like any other ordinary day at school, with the sound of the morning bell ringing in our ears and students bustling through the hallways, eager to begin another day of learning. As I made my way to my first class, I couldn't shake off a strange feeling of unease. There was an eerie silence that hung in the air, a chilling presence that seemed to wrap itself around me. But I brushed it off as mere imagination, attributing it to the stress of upcoming exams and the general anxiety that often accompanies school life. Little did I know that something far more sinister was unfolding within the walls of our seemingly safe and familiar school. It was during my third period class that the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The lights flickered ominously, and the classroom door swung open with a creak, revealing a figure standing in the doorway. It was a masked intruder, dressed entirely in black, their eyes filled with a malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. Panic erupted among my classmates as the intruder brandished a weapon, their intention unmistakably clear. We huddled together in fear, our hearts pounding in our chests, desperately praying for help to arrive. But the seconds stretched into minutes, and it felt as if time had frozen in that moment of terror. The intercom crackled to life, and the voice of the intruder echoed through the speakers, taunting us with their twisted words. They reveled in our fear, savoring every second of the torment they were inflicting upon us. As the intruder moved from classroom to classroom, chaos and devastation followed in their wake. But in the midst of the horror, a flicker of hope emerged. The sound of police sirens grew louder, piercing through the darkness like a beacon of salvation. The cavalry had arrived, their determined footsteps echoing through the corridors. We clung to each other, waiting for the moment when the nightmare would end. The intruder, sensing their time was running out, attempted to escape, but they were met with a swift and resolute response from the brave men and women who had come to our rescue. With a collective sigh of relief, we watched as the perpetrator was apprehended, their reign of terror finally coming to an end. In the aftermath, the school community came together, offering solace and support to those who had experienced the horrors of that day. We shared our stories, our fears, and our hopes for a better, safer future. The scars of that traumatic experience would forever remain, but they served as a reminder of our strength and resilience. As time passed, the school implemented enhanced security measures and prioritized the well-being of its students. We were determined to reclaim our sanctuary, to create an environment where learning could flourish without the shadow of fear looming over us. And so, we moved forward, forever changed by the events that unfolded within the walls of our school. But we found solace in knowing that justice had been served, that the perpetrator had been caught and would face the consequences of their actions. The nightmare had come to an end, but its echoes would forever reverberate within our hearts. We would never forget the terror we endured, but we would also never forget the strength and unity we discovered in the face of adversity. Our school became a symbol of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the darkest of horrors. And as we walked the halls once again, we held our heads high, knowing that we had faced the unimaginable and emerged stronger on the other side. Number 3. I woke up one morning feeling a sense of dread in the pit of my stomach. Little did I know that this would be the beginning of a true horror story that would haunt me for the rest of my life. As I entered the school building, everything seemed normal at first. But as the day progressed, strange occurrences started happening. The hallway lights flickered ominously, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air grew heavy, suffocating me with an unexplainable sense of fear. During class, I noticed my classmates acting strangely. They seemed distant, their eyes vacant and devoid of emotion. It was as if their souls had been replaced by something sinister. The teacher's voice echoed through the room, but the words seemed distorted, sending shivers down my spine. As the bell rang for lunch, I made my way to the cafeteria. However, I soon realized that something was terribly wrong. The doors were locked, trapping us inside. Panic spread among the students as we desperately tried to escape, pounding on the windows and screaming for help. But our cries fell on deaf ears. Hours turned into days, and we remained trapped within the school's walls. The outside world faded away, leaving us isolated in a nightmare. Food and water became scarce, and hunger gnawed at our weakened bodies. Fear gripped us, knowing that our lives were slowly slipping away. But it wasn't just the hunger that tormented us. The school seemed alive with a malevolent presence. Whispers echoed through the hallways, chilling us to the core. Shadows danced on the walls, morphing into grotesque shapes that seemed to mock our terror. The air grew colder, and an unseen force tugged at our clothes, as if trying to drag us into the darkness. Each night, We huddled together in the classrooms, seeking solace in each other's trembling presence. Sleep brought no respite, for nightmares plagued our minds. Visions of tortured souls and demonic figures invaded our dreams, blurring the line between reality and the supernatural. Days turned into weeks, and hope dwindled like a dying ember. Some of my fellow students succumbed to madness, their sanity crumbling under the weight of our captivity. Others simply vanished, leaving behind only a lingering sense of unease. I tried to hold on to my sanity, clinging to the belief that escape was possible. I scoured the school for any possible exit, but the building seemed to defy logic, its layout constantly shifting and leading me in circles. It was as if the school itself was toying with me, relishing in my despair. Months stretched into an eternity, and I became a mere shell of my former self. Desperation consumed me, and I resigned myself to the fact that I would never escape this nightmare. The school had become my purgatory, a place where time stood still and hope withered away. To this day, the memory of those trapped within that school haunts me. The horror we experienced was beyond comprehension, forever etched in my mind as a chilling reminder of the depths of darkness that can exist within the confines of a seemingly ordinary place.